This week's episode is about our response to racism here and now. I'm Rachael Keefe, and this is Monday's Muse. You see Meow Meow here. She's a great cat, but she is only concerned with her own needs and comfort. She does not care that we're shooting video. And if left to her own devices, she would eat all the cat's food, hers and Sophie's, and not feel guilty at all. She's a perfect example for reflections on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Meow Meow is pretty self-centered. She doesn't pay any attention to how her actions impact anyone else's. And I think of our president's statement last week about various countries and what he said. I don't need to repeat it, you know what he said. And he has failed to acknowledge that those countries are the way they are because of colonialism, because the United States and European countries have taken all of their resources and kept them oppressed. And if you don't believe me, look it up. Ask Google, ask Siri, particularly about Haiti's history. Haiti is an amazing country with people who are strong and resilient that have been used and abused by the United States, by France, for centuries. And we wonder why they can't recover from things like earthquakes and disease when we have taken all of their financial resources and destroyed their economy. Now let's think a little more deeply about our response to the president, because so many people are outraged by his choice of language and his blatant racism. Well, my friends, it's not surprising that he used crass language or that he's a racist. He has made it clear that he's only out for himself. He does not care how his words or actions impact anyone else. If we care, we have to do something to change that. We can't just say, isn't it horrible that he said this? Or isn't it awful that those countries are in such terrible states? We need to do something to address the racism in this country, and today's the perfect day to decide what you're gonna do for the next year. It's more than just a long weekend. It's more than just a remembrance of the person who led the civil rights movement years ago. He left us a legacy. Dr. King's legacy says that the most dangerous people in this country are moderates. Moderate white Christians are problematic because we don't do anything. We don't get out and join the marches. We don't shut down the highways. We don't do our part to call attention to the racism that has been layered through the systems in this country since its founding. It's time we change that. It's time that we live out the gospel, the one that Jesus taught, where all people are welcome in the kingdom of God. Or as the psalmist said, we are fearfully and wonderfully made, and that is not dependent on where we come from, what language we speak, the color of our skin, or the way we worship God. So if you're still in the mindset of making New Year's resolutions, add combating racism in big ways and small ways to how you're going to live this year. Invite all people into the realm of God, where everyone is valued and loved, and no one is exploited or oppressed simply because of who they are. Let's truly honor the legacy of Dr. King and create the beloved community where all are welcome. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.